Hello and greetings from Vietnam. My name is Khue. I'm teaching international relations at Vietnam National University in Ho Chi Minh City. Today, I'd like to introduce Rain School and the Rain School network that are being established and expanded throughout the Mekong countries. As someone with international relations or political science background, I find this Rain School initiative an eye-opening idea which deserves attentions and investments from experts and policymakers worldwide. My presentation has two parts. First, I'd like to show you what Rain School is and its main stakeholders. I will then explain to you the reason why I believe Rain School Network brings about a brand new form of international cooperation, a kind of local micro ODA, and serves as the key for South Korea Mekong cooperation in tackling climate change. So, what is Rain School? Rain School is an institution of general education, primary, secondary, and high schools, located in a rural area where an innovative rainwater for drinking RFD system is built based on a deep understanding of the vital role and value of rainwater. This is a brand new concept and idea that takes root from a quite popular notions and model known as Rain City in South Korea. Now, by moving away from the cities to the rural areas, and with a special focus on education and the community, it is expected to be an effective solution for the severe drinking water problem at rural schools and communities where clean water is undersupplied. Financially and technically sponsored by the South Korean Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the MOFA, 5 pilot rain schools will be established in the Mekong region by the end of 2023. But what is its main stakeholders? First is the BTS, Rain Teachers and Students Group, that is established at each rain school. As a special science group studying rainwater, BTS members actively participate in the construction and maintenance of the RFD facility while enjoying various art and cultural activities, as well as introducing the system and the idea behind it to the local community. In addition, international exchange are held between different BTS of all Mekong countries to share their knowledge of rainwater as well as their experiences in operating and monitoring the rainwater facilities. And there is also a Sky Water Committee composed of all parties, the school authority, the parent association, the rainwater expert, and the local authorities. This committee provides observation and guidance for BTS group's activities. As such, all beneficiaries, including the system user and the public officers, are clearly informed, educated, and trained. The sense of community ownership and responsibility, therefore, is remarkably increased, leading to the effectiveness of the rainwater system's operation and lengthening its lifespan. As a result, this model differs itself from many other cases of ODA or United Nations projects or foreign funds and soft loans, where local beneficiary involvement is limited or even unfounded. Moving on to the second part of my presentation. As mentioned before, not only separate rain schools, but also a joint rain school network are being formed and expanded throughout the Mekong region. From a political science or international relations approach, this network could be assessed as a typical example of local-based international cooperation, in which different communities and societies cooperate based on a deep understanding and appreciation of the local characteristic and local people, condition and people. This kind of local focus or local-based international cooperation has been widely advocated throughout the world, especially by UN-initiated programs in developing countries. And these traditional forms or white first form of cooperation span both the macro and micro levels, as you can see here. But despite their focus on the local side, they could not make the most of or bring into full play the local characteristics. Rain School Network tackles this shortcoming in many ways. First, as mentioned, the project is sponsored by South Korean MOFA. Accordingly, international cooperation at the macro level is clearly observed here. You see the South Korean government participation and sponsorship, but it is the local workforce and resources to implement the project and monitor the results in the long run. Moreover, based on their own experience and indigenous knowledge, the locals can sustain and innovate such results to resolve their own local problems. You may agree with me that each community in any part of the world sustains their own traditions and solutions regarding their rural local issues. Second, and as a follow-up of what I've just said, compared to highly globalized big cities, the rural areas are where traditions are reserved, mobilities are relatively limited, securing the project's locality. And third, the project takes general education institution as its core actor. And I think this is very smart and innovative. Instead of choosing university, which are usually located at a big city and whose students come from different places, general education institution in the rural areas further secure the project locality. And unlike university students whose attachment with the family is quite low, as young teenagers, schoolboys and schoolgirls receive more attention from their parents. As a result, the project draws much higher interest from the students' families and communities, expanding its effectiveness. Last but not least, international exchange among university students are pretty common, but chances for schoolboys and schoolgirls from different countries to contact and communicate, to teach and learn from each other are very few or even none. In short, from an international relation perspective, this Rain School Network incorporates both macro and micro level of international cooperation while making full use of the local characteristics. I thus appreciate it as a local micro solution to the traditional or popular forms of international cooperation. But that's not all. Rain School Network also serves as a key for ROK-Mekong cooperation in tackling one of the most serious problems of this century, climate change. It is because the cultural, socio-economic landscape of the monsoon region adds even more values to the initiative in at least two ways. Number one is the emphasis on schools and youth. The philosophy behind this Rain School Network is to nurture and educate our future global citizens, those who should be well equipped to overcome the climate crisis. In reality, the monsoon region has a quite young and dynamic population. Moreover, the desire for education is very strong here, whereas money and collective responsibility have formerly been the common motivation for the maintenance of any environmental projects. It is the strong desire for education among the Asian parents, students, and school that guarantees the proper operation and sustenance of the RFD system. And number two is the attention to and interest in indigenous knowledge. The challenges of the climate crisis are site-specific, meaning the problem are very different from each country. And we all agree that each community has its own culture of climate adaptation and mitigation found in its history and tradition. And fortunately, indigenous knowledge is very rich and abundant here among the monsoon country. What you are seeing is just some examples of the traditional rainwater harvesting system that are found far and wide throughout the region. From clockwise, we see pictures from South Korea, Vietnam, Thailand, and Cambodia. To conclude, Rain School Network helps South Korea and the Mekong countries deliver not only the technology of rainwater, but also the culture and history of rainwater management via the young people. As a result, the key for Mekong Korea cooperation in tackling climate change is found in this very model. Moreover, it provides a local micro solution to the widespread or popular forms of international cooperation, serving as a local micro ODA. And so this brand new and innovative model of cooperation is strongly recommended to governments and organizations worldwide so that an international rain school network be proposed and implemented soon in the near future. I'd like to stop here and thank you very much for your attention. I welcome any comments and suggestions.